Hey, what's the deal, man? It's your boy Tag from Pro Wrestling Tag. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I was walking around Fort Greene Park on a Saturday night. You know, I'm not watching no fucking Wrestle Dream. Like, that shit's a nightmare card, yo. Like, they got fucking Rico. Remember Rico from the Ruthless Aggression era? You know what I mean? And I like Rico. You know what I mean? I thought Rico was a decent wrestler. You know what I mean? He was a decent wrestler. If I'm not mistaken, I think he made his debut at age 43, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I got to go back and look. Remember, he was Rico Constantino in OVW. Remember, he was one of the original class of... He was one of the original members of that OVW class, like in 2002. You know what I mean? When they had the brand split. You know, it was him, Cena, Brock, Batista, Randy Orton. Let me see who else. This guy named Ron Waterman. You know, Shelton Benjamin. Like, it was a lot of them. A lot of them that came out that became, that became stars. Well, Ron Waterman wasn't a star. Remember, Ron Waterman, he dropped out. Ron H2O Waterman, he actually dropped out of that class. I think he stopped doing wrestling, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he stopped doing wrestling. I think I mentioned Batista. But yeah, he stopped wrestling during that time. And they was going to push him into a star. He's supposed to have been one of the big ones. Of course, Cena. So... when I seen, because I'm on Twitter, and I seen, I seen them, I seen like shots of, people posting stuff, and they posted a video of Rico as the third wheel with the Maximum Male Models. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck are they doing? Like, seriously. Like, I'm like, wow, this is fucking crazy. Like, even though it's not the topic, but I'm like, yo, AEW is no longer the alternative. Don't tell me they're trying to go back to the Attitude, not the Attitude era, the Ruthless Aggression era. Because that's what the fuck it seemed like. That's exactly what it seemed like they're doing. But, I'm like, wow, this shit is insane. But this video was not about, it's not about Rico and fucking, AEW. Actually, no, it is about AEW, but it's not about, Wrestle Dream and stuff. This video is actually a continuation of a video that I did early today about one Jimmy Jacobs. And I seen a picture up that was very laughable, right? And in that picture, like, they had like a bunch of stuff. In that picture, a bunch of, all the things that Jimmy Jacobs was, was to put blame for creatively, and like I said, this was more of the sickos, or no, actually, no, this is from Ebu of Wrestle Purists, right? This is apparently from Ebu, right? But, the sickos kind of tossed gasoline into the fire, so to speak, right? And it actually proved my point. You know what I'm saying? It actually proved my point about how All Elite Wrestling really is, And the fact of the matter is, with All Elite Wrestling, their fan base is by far the worst fan base in all of professional wrestling, in all. Because when you got a motherfucker who leaves the company, you basically shit on them, you trash on them, and everything else, almost as if that's their severance package. Basically, that's what the fuck it is, their severance package, right? So you got all these motherfuckers leaving and stuff, and it's really fucking sad. It is very sad, and this is why AEW is in the shit that it's in. This is why All Elite Wrestling will never grow. Because when you got shit like this, when you got a fan base like that, like it's embarrassing to have, to be part of that fan base. It's embarrassing to be part of a fan base like that because, like if I'm a wrestler, right? If I'm a fucking pro wrestler and I see that, what I mean, and I wanna lead to achieve bigger and better things, right? And then you shit on me, right? I'm like, wow, this is crazy. So basically, you got to be there until the day that you die. That's basically what the fuck AEW wants. They want you to be there until the day that you fucking die. I'm like, yo, that's not how life works, son. That's not how life fucking works, And it's really, really sad because this just adds, to the toxic tribalism that these fans offer. You know what I mean? That these fans, that these AEW fans, this is all the fuck they do. This is legit all they do. All they do is, when a motherfucker leaves, all they do is bash. We've seen this with Jade. We've seen this with Cody. We've seen this with Punk. We've seen this with Ethan Page. We've seen this with fucking Shawn Spears. You know what I'm saying? And now we've seen this with Jimmy Jacobs. And oh yeah, that's another thing I forgot to bring up too. Like these niggas is still bitter about Stephanie Valkyrie. They're still fucking bitter. They're still in their feelings about, Stephanie Valkyrie, swerving these motherfuckers and signing with WWE. They mad. They fucking tight. They tight because they can't handle that, she's not wrestling in their promotion. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, wow. I'm like, man, this is some sad shit. You know what I mean? Like, and that's another thing too. I forgot to bring this up. Like every fucking Saturday night at 8 o'clock, you watching wrestling. Every Saturday at 8 p.m., you're watching fucking wrestling, right? I remember like back in my time, when WCW was still around, right? It was on that shit was on TBS. You know what I mean? 6:05 Eastern, right? WCW Saturday night. It was a show that basically had a lot of, a lot of high mid-carders and people from the power plant was wrestling there. You had motherfuckers from Worldwide wrestling there. You had some people from Nitro and Thunder wrestling there, But the shit went off at 8:05. So let's say you going out, let's say you trying to kill some time, and you want to go out. You know what I'm saying? You try to kill some time. You want to, before you go out with your boys or your girl or whatnot, you know what I mean? You get your shit ready, and then you watch WCW Saturday night. You watch that, or you could record the shit. You know what I mean? You could fucking tape it. You could tape the shit and, and watch it when you get home. That is what I remembered. You know what I'm saying? But they smart. Like I said, they did the shit at 6 o'clock, at 6:05. Nobody's going to, watch this fucking product every week at 8 o'clock. Like, you got to be a loser. You legit got to be a fucking loser to be watching Collision on a Saturday night. Like, you got to be a loser every fucking week. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be a legit loser to do that shit. Because, yo, like, it's sad, yo. It's fucking sad. But this is what the sickos like, right? And they say, if you don't like it, to them, if you don't like it, oh, you get shitted on and, oh, fuck you and fuck your life and everything else. But, you're basically the cause of the tribalism. It's you, nigga. It's not nobody else but you. It's you. You know what I'm saying? It's you who's causing the bullshit. And this is why I don't respect these fans. And this is why, I feel bad for Jimmy Jacobs because, he's not the reason why, the product is in the shit. He's not the reason. He's not the reason. When they hear, what it is? When they hear that he's Tony Khan's right-hand man, you know what I mean? That's when they still start to shit. You know what I'm saying? And the fucked up thing about the AEW fans is the simple fact that they know deep down inside that Tony Khan is the problem. They know. But they're too fucking pussy to admit it. They're too scared to death to admit that Tony Khan is the issue. It's the main reason why, the shit is, it is fucked up. He knows it. These motherfuckers know it. They know it. They know it. They're just too fucking afraid to admit it. Why? Because these niggas are afraid to admit defeat. You know what I mean? Like, yo, just toss the white flag, nigga. Just throw the white flag in. Just throw the white flag in and say, you know what, fuck it. We give up. But they're not going to do that. And now, this makes AEW look, let me just run across the street. This makes AEW look worse than ever before because, when you try to, with the whole thing with Jimmy Jacobs, with everything that you're seeing, and now it's like they're going back to the ruthless aggression era. Like, yo, like, creatively, you're bankrupt. It's over. It's fucking over, My sense is I do think that what's his face is gonna bounce back. Jimmy Jacobs is gonna bounce back. I legit would not be shocked at all if WWE picks him up, and puts him in NXT as part of their creative staff. I would not be shocked. Especially with the CW and everything that's going on there, I would not be shocked. I would not. All right, guys, so I just wanted to put this out there, you know what I'm saying? So this video might be going up about, right now it's 8:44 as of this recording. So maybe about an hour or two, you know what I mean? Because I want to see what else is shown for Wrestle Nightmare. Wrestle Nightmare. All right, so I'm about to be out. Peace.